Okay, turn. There we go. Okay, so President Donald J. Trump is going to be going to England, I think next week. And I guess the powers that be in London have approved the permit for some activists, artists, whatever, to fly this giant baby Donald Trump balloon over London for 2 or 3 hours while he's visiting, to coincide with his visit. You know the term, I'm living rent-free in your head? Well, never has one person lived so rent-free in so many people's heads than Donald Trump. So he's gonna go there. They're gonna have this big balloon there as an insult to him, to basically, I guess, send the message that we think you're a big baby. Which is ironic, because they're the ones who are behaving like big babies. He behaves like a president, a bombastic president, you know, a self-aggrandizing president, a little bit of an arrogant president, but a president nonetheless. He's got the job, he's doing the job, and he's the president. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to think he's a baby or not, he's the president. But, yeah, the funny thing is they're behaving like babies. Now, I've seen a couple people post things online about it saying, oh, well, you know, this is just free speech. And, you know, if you're a liberal, then you should defend free speech. And this was on the Liberalists page. And I'm a member of the Liberalists group or whatever. So, yeah, absolutely. I agree. They should be free to do it. As insulting as they're trying to be, they should be free to do it. I don't think Donald Trump's going to be insulted by it. I don't think he's really going to care that much. Again, I think he realizes that he's living rent-free in their heads. But when I heard people from the UK saying, hey, this is free speech, and this is what makes Britain great, and, you know, we have the ability to speak our minds, I'm like, whoa, hold up a second now. No, you don't. England does not have free speech. They just arrested and fined a man, I don't remember how much it was, 900 pounds or something like that, for telling a joke on the internets. If you say anything disparaging about Islam or Muslims or Muhammad, you get arrested. If you say anything online that is can be construed as attacking an identifiable group, you'll be arrested. Whether it's valid criticism or not, whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. You'll be arrested. And so this idea that Britain is, you know, has got this free speech standard, well, it's not an equal standard. It's not applied equally. And all you'd have to do is say, hey, I wanna fly a balloon that depicts Muhammad, and see how quickly you get a permit for that. My intuition is you wouldn't. Because it would insult the Muslims. Never mind that they're, you know, putting a balloon up of a big baby Donald Trump would be insulting to millions of Brits who, you know, actually support his policies, actually support him. I don't think there's that many people who are going to be protesting him as they think. Of course, the media will try and make it seem much larger than it is, but Sargon of Akkad and a bunch of others are doing a counter-protest on Friday the 13th, my birthday, by the way, when he visits. So yeah, I mean, it's just kind of funny that they laud this principle of free speech when it suits their needs. But in reality, anybody who's paying attention knows that free speech principles don't exist in the UK. They only exist for a specific subset of people, and with a specific subset of ideas. And the laws, in terms of decency, inflammatory speech, or whatever, hate speech, or whatever you want to call it, they're not applied equally. So it's not a feather in your cap, Britain, that, you know, you're upholding this one example of free speech when you would never uphold others, just simply based on the message. It's not a principle if you don't apply it equally. So, anyway, that's just my thought on it. But I mean, I'd be interested to know what you think. I personally don't give a shit about a balloon flying Donald Trump. As a matter of fact, my guess is that it's free advertising, and again, it's just reinforcing the idea that, hey, look, a head of state is in town from your supposedly strongest and greatest ally. I don't know. What's funny is that this is how people want to spend their time in London on July 13th. You know, they don't go after Sadiq Khan, the mayor of London, over the spike in knife crime or acid attacks or any of that stuff. I don't know. I have a colleague of mine who went to who's gone to England now, visiting his wife's family. His wife is a colleague of mine too, but and when he says, yeah, we're going to England, we're gonna, you know, go do all the touristy things, we're gonna go to London, blah blah. I hope they have a good time. I can't help but think that it's dangerous there. I wouldn't want to go right now. I wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much Breitbart. I don't know. But statistically, it looks like it's a pretty bad place right now. More murders than New York. It's the first time in like, what, 100 and something years? The murder rate in London surpassed that of New York. I think it was the month of June. I'm not sure, but anyway, yeah. And their response was to, hey, let's make knives outlawed. No one can ever carry a knife in England. Whether you have a legitimate or valid reason for doing it. I read a story about some people were out camping in, like, I guess a wooded camp area park in England, and they had, of course, with them a knife, because a knife is something you take camping with you because it's a useful tool. And they were arrested. It was confiscated and they were arrested. They had to basically pack up their camping gear and go. Can't have a knife in England, whether or not it's a means of survival or it's a you know, it has a practical use in the current setting that you're in. So I gotta wonder what happens to chefs who, you know, carry their knives with them when they go to work. You know, they take their knives if they're going to culinary school, or they take their knives because they're a personal chef and they're going to a client's house to prepare dinner. Are they gonna, you know, be are they gonna be arrested for that? Or maybe you need a license. Oi, mate, got a license for that knife? As the meme goes. Oi, mate, you got a license for that meme? Yeah, so I would say, well, maybe people should just sort of like set up some drones to go after this balloon of Donald Trump and put some knives on the drones, but knives are illegal. So I guess it's gonna have to be pointed stakes. What if someone comes at you with a pointed stake? If you get that reference, then you're a hero. But yeah, I would love to see somebody pop it, or better yet, someone with a drone or a couple of drones, fly it up and like attach a cape, a big red, white, and blue cape to the back of Donald Trump. Or no, you know what? A Union Jack flag, a giant Union Jack flag that it would be the size of a cape. Somebody goes up with a drone or a couple of drones and like pastes it to the back of the baby balloon, the baby Trump balloon. That'd be hilarious. Anyway, it's just kind of ridiculous how much time and effort people spend in dealing with things that aren't problems and ignoring things that are problems, like knife crime, like acid attacks, like terrorism being part and parcel of living in a big city, as Sadiq Khan would put it. Yeah, anyway, I'm almost at work here. I will be traveling to the east coast of Canada next week to Just a little vacation with the wife. Maybe I'll record a video while I'm vacationing. I don't know. There's gonna be a fair bit of driving, and I think as long as the wife isn't on camera, she won't mind me recording in the car, but we'll see. See what she thinks. It's my birthday vacation, so she should be indulgent towards me. Anyway, I'm at work now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Take care.